Hello beautiful people, how are you doing? It's your girl Kana. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday. Today it is a special episode. We are going to be doing Sunday special, a Sunday special, so buckle up because we are getting ready. Today we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic of mine that I always think about, and one of the people who fascinate me in the Bible is Paul, Apostle Paul, right? So, for those of you who do not know Paul, he is this person who killed a lot of Christians. He's one of the people who killed more Christians than any other person, right? So, he is on his way going to kill more Christians. So, guys, to give you a summary of Paul, the first time he was like called Saul, and he is this guy who is like hates Christians. He's like, if you love God, I'm gonna kill you, right? So he kills a lot of people, and on his way to a town where he was going to kill more people who were literally Christians, he was met by God. So Saul is literally struck by God. He falls off his horse, and God meets him. Is like, why, Saul, why are you troubling me? Why are you killing my people? And why are you like hating me so much, right? So God, when God meets him, his eyes go blind and everything. That is how it is. And as Saul goes on to the town, he meets this other prophet of God. Who Saul goes, he meets up with this prophet who God had already talked with, and is like, a person named Saul is coming, so go meet him. And you will be like, this prophet goes and he is literally pledging for Saul that he had changed, and he met God and he had changed, right? So Saul becomes Paul and starts telling the gospel of God, one of the people who spread the word of God. And he wrote most, is it most? No, I can't say most, but he wrote so many books in the Bible, and one of them is like Romans, First and Second Corinthians, Philemon, Galatians, Philippians, Thessalonians, I can't speak this for real, Ephesians, Colossians, Timothy, and Titus. Others, if I missed any, you can add on them. Go read the story. You will know all about Paul and his journey with God. And Paul, for those of you who don't know more about Paul, so that is the origin of Paul. Every single one of us has like origins, but this is the guy who most know as the person who never got married. So Paul didn't have a wife, right? And that perturbed me so much when I was reading the Bible, and I look into these stories, and I'm like, why didn't Paul have a wife? It was just weird at the end of the day. Remember, in the Garden of Eden, it was like God saw Adam, and Adam was lonely and was alone, and he was like, you know what, let us make Adam a helper, let us make a person for Adam, right? And God put Adam to sleep, removed a rib from Adam, and he made Eve. And that is how it is. So right now, to say that, oh, Paul never got married, I was like, what's up with that? What's up with that? But then as I continued on praying, and I'm like asking God, what exactly does it mean for Paul not getting married? Why was it like that? Because as human beings, we are adaptive creatures. We love company, we love being in where other human beings are, we love being loved and everything. So I was like, no, that doesn't count, that doesn't add up and everything. So I got like some kind of a revelation, and I was thinking about it so much, and I was in my time of prayer, and I'm like, what are you trying to mean, and why didn't Paul have a wife? And I got this, guys. So Paul was a person who knew how to love. Like Paul loved way too much. This is one of the reasons why Paul never got a wife and was like, I'm going to leave that alone so that I can follow God and do his work, right? Because Paul, his own personality, he was like, if he decided something, he would do it to his heart's content. That is why Paul was one of the people who killed more Christians, because when Paul was passionate about something, he did it to the fullest and to his heart's content, right? So guys, Paul was a passionate person. That is the most easiest way I can say it. Paul was a very passionate person. And passion includes both with hate and love, right? So if you are passionate about something, like you hate something or somebody passionately, it reaches to a time like you are dedicated to hating this person. You will do everything and anything to get to their downfall, right? So when Paul was hating on the Christian, he was passionate about it. He was one of the people who killed as many Christians as he could get his hands on to. Like the moment you were like, oh, I'm a Christian, you're like dead, right? And when Paul was met by God and he got to know the love of God, right, and he was transformed, his heart was touched by God, at the end of the day he literally loved God. And not only loving God, but he loved God passionately, that he was like, you know what, I'm going to go, I'm going to spread the word, I'm going to do everything, I'm going to even write these letters to the people in order for them to know God. So when Paul was if you read a lot of the books of Paul and what he wrote, some of these books, half of these books were written in prison. So Paul is in prison. He's literally writing to these churches that were like coming up and trying to follow in the footsteps of God and everything. And he was writing to them, but he's in prison. He's like, no matter what, no matter that I am in prison, no matter that I am right now in a storm, I'm in chains, I am literally tied up, I am going to still talk about the love of God, and I'm going to still speak about his love, speak about his word, and try to get people to know about his love, right? And that is the most special thing. So this brings us to the moment where Paul literally does not have a wife, and he decided to not have a wife. Because Paul was very passionate about something, Paul had to have only one thing that he could really be passionate about. He could not separate himself like in two parts to literally go do this and that, right? So Paul knew himself, and God knew Paul. So Paul knew himself, and he was like, I am a passionate person. I know how to love. I know how to like be passionate about something. So I cannot bring in something else that also needs passion and love in this relationship that I already have. So Paul knew his weakness, but it was also his strength. The passion Paul had was his weakness, but as well as his strength. I don't know if you're getting me, but stick with me, you will get it at the end. So if Paul had a wife at that moment, if Paul had a wife in this pursuit of God and with his love of God, Paul would have had to divide his love into different things, and he could not do that. He knew, I either love one or I don't love them both, I either love one, I can't have both to love. Paul was that kind of person. We have all those kinds of people in the world. You're like, I love this one thing, or I am this one thing, and I'm not going to change for nothing, and this was Paul. So Paul knew himself enough to know that I am a passionate person. My personality is like, I am passionate. When I want something, I will die for it. I will do anything for it. Just imagine it, a person with that much love, if they had a woman, something pretty to come back home to, if they had like a woman, of course they are going to love the woman. Of course they are going to love something that they can hold and it's beautiful, right? So Paul could not, and decided to not have a wife for that reason alone. Not because, oh my god, like he had other things to do and everything. No, it was because he was a very passionate person that he could not divide his passions, and he decided that, you know what, I'm going to just give my love to God and God alone. This brings us to my biggest topic of the day, because like I had to give you that context so that you can know a little bit of what I'm going to be talking about. Guys, all of us in the world have something in us. We have something in us, and when we use it for the good, it brings out good results, and when we use it for the bad, it brings out bad results. As Paul had passion, Paul's thing was passion. I am passionate. When he was literally, before he was found by God, he was this person who was killing people passionately. He was willing to move town to town, district to district, country to country. If Paul was in these ages and these times, he would literally be going on planes. He would make planes his he would make planes a bicycle, you know. So Paul was a passionate person, and he was in the when he was still in the murder business, like assassin. He was passionate about it. He could move from place to place, just going around killing. But when he was met by God, and he knew God's love, and he was met by the power and the might and the love, the passion, and everything that God consists of, right? He humbled himself, and he put this passion that he was putting into killing, and he put it in serving the Lord, so much so that he even decided to be like, you know what, I am a passionate person, so I'm not going to bring in a woman who will need my passion as well, you know, because at the end of the day, one thing was going to stay with Paul's love, and my bet was a woman. Like, have you seen women? Oof. Anyways, that is not that point. So this brings us to me saying that we all have something in us. I personally have something, and you have something. Whoever is watching has something in them, and you know, leave alone habits, leave alone things you acquired out there in the world, but we all are born with a certain thing. I don't know what to call it, personality, I don't even know, like way of life, right? And I have met people who have a certain thing, and it's literally that one highlight of their whole lives and their whole personalities, right? And their whole decisions. Like, that is the one highlight. They can't change it, they can't do anything about it. And some people are so passionate, some are just so they have like I think it's a personality actually. They have obsessions, you know. Some have kindness, like a kindness that is too much, and I don't have the same kindness as the person who has kindness can have, right? And some people are just so loving. You can find a person that they're like, if I love, I will love you to the end of the earth. Like, I will love you in your bad, I will love you in your good, I will love you when you literally insult me, I will love you when you beat me up. It's love. I don't have that, but other people have it, you know. And I think a lot of us are using what we have for the wrong reasons, as Paul was using his passion in the wrong for the wrong reasons and in the wrong things, right? And let me give you another example. I, as a person, truthfully, I have an obsessive personality. Now, it's not, I'm not obsessed with things like, oh my god, blah blah blah. No, when I put something in my mind in here, I will not change it. It disturbs me so much. It's not that I can't change it, but when it reaches to a point of me changing it, I have battled. It literally leaves me drained for me to change something, or like a plan, or something that I have done, and things like that. I am that obsessive, and I'm like, if I want it like this, I want it like this, you know. And another thing that I think is in my life is that when I say I'm gonna do it, I have a will that is like so strong. It's like, I will do it, I will get it, I will get you, whoever you are. Like, I get you, I do it. If I want to buy it, I buy it. I do everything. Like, I will do everything. In the other days when I was not yet met by God, I was in the church, but I was not yet met by God. Two different things, as Saul was there. I would want something and I could do anything and everything to get it. Like, I don't care. I don't know who I would have to step on. I don't know what I will have to do, but I will get it, you know. So if you don't have gold and you're literally moving in the way of like, you know what, and all of this, but you have this personality going on and your will is so strong, you're like, I will do it, or I will do this, or like you're so strongly about something and you use it for the wrong, what will the results be at the end of the day? Now, in the other days when I did not know much about God, I would do anything. I would not be afraid to like do things in order to get what I wanted, right? And that was not a good thing, because that was me moving with the world and me moving by the pleasures and guidelines of the world, and that is not how we are supposed to live as human beings. You don't I didn't need to change what I had in me, because I have it. Even now I have it, but I had to change my passions, what I was doing with that thing that I had in me, you know. So when I started with God and I'm like, I'm going to actively pursue him and look for him and like be in his presence, I put what I had in the world and what I was using in those days, and I put it to do good work, you know. I put it to good use. I am right now fighting the good fight, because though I have a will, I'm like, if I put this will in the words of the Lord and move by the Lord, you know, it will be much better and it will be like good results, because you can see the results, right? So in the other times I'll be like, if I wanted something, I'll be like, I'm going to get it, I will do everything to get it. These days, because I want God, I am willing to put in the work to want to literally pursue him and to be in his presence. I am willing to even come here on the internet where people are so criticizing, and sometimes you're literally so afraid that, oh my God, I'm going to put in a video and I'm talking about God, and somebody's going to literally comment something bad and insult me or something like that, because the world is so angry with God. I don't know why they are angry, but we will get into that next time, you know. And but because you are so passionate, because I am so passionate, and I have like a different passion from what I had in those days, I'm willing, my will is strong enough to be like, to push me and be like, you know what, Kana, now you're going to get on that camera and you're going to be talking about this, and you're going to be talking about God, right? And every single day, as I talked about like the obsessive thing as well, like there are moments I would be in those times when I was not with God. In those moments I would be like, oh, I want this, or I'm going to go here, and no matter what, even if it rains, I will go and do it. If I say I'm going to dress like this in that day, I will do it. If I said I'm going to meet up this person and do this, I will do it no matter what. Like, I could walk there. That, because when I don't do it and I already put it in my mind, I start like feeling anxious, I'm shaking, I'm like, it's like as if I have not got my fix, right? Like people who take alcohol, if you don't take it at a moment. I was once with a friend who was alcoholic, so I know these things. If he did not take alcohol in a day, he would be like, you know. So it's the same thing with me. If I don't do what I have planned to do, I feel like I'm melting, like my heart is beating too much, my mind is running, it's like coming up with ideas, and it's like you have to do it, you have to do it, you have to do it, right? So right now, even now, there are moments when I'm like, a word comes to my mind, and it starts, and my mind is like talking, and it's like, you have to speak about God, you have to speak about God, you have to do it, you have to do it, you have to do it. And I got so obsessive. So this is me literally working with that thing, with the same personalities that I had in those days, right? And working them in the goodness of the living God. He uses what you have. God does not take, you know, he uses what you already have. So when these things, I'm literally obsessing about it, and I'm like, I need to put in a video, I need to talk about God, I need to talk about Paul. Right now, literally, we are here talking about, and you're like, I need, and here we are. I'm literally making a video, and if you get something out of it, I am very sure that, like, even if you don't get it today, but these words that I speak, and if you listen to them, they stay in your mind, they stay with you, they stay in your heart. One thing about words is that when they are spoken, even if you're not paying attention, but when they are spoken, in the long run, these words can come back to you. You know, these words will come back to you, and they will maybe be something of a difference in your life, and that is the important thing. So this is why we literally do our our work, and we literally get the courage to literally come here and speak with the about the living God, because he is using things in us. If you ever find a person and they're like, they are doing something and they are doing God's work, it's because God is using something in us, and we know the love, and we have met him. Literally, I feel like Paul right now. I have met God, and he has, like, with everything that has been happening in my life and what has happened in my life, and I know that I would want to share the same thing to you. It's not because that, oh my God, I want you to follow my God or something like that. No, it's not that. But one of the reasons that I love God, and I always take the time and get the courage. I even like pray for this courage, and I'm like, God, give me the courage to talk to these people, is that I want somebody out there to feel the same love that I feel. No matter what, I am not perfect. I am far from perfect. There are moments when I feel so bad, and I feel like I am unworthy, and I feel dirty, and I feel sinful, right? And I feel like, why? You know, there are even moments when you're like, God, why are you even in my corner? Like, why are you on my side? Because I'm far from worthy. I'm unworthy, you know. And you're like, I'm a sinner. You can even be from sinning at that moment, and you're like, oh, why, you know. But at the end of the day, it's because that no matter what we feel, I know God's love, and he is there. He is willing to forgive and always be there for you, and he is willing to literally come and stretch out his hand to touch your life anytime. The Bible says that he is knocking, so that somebody can hear and open up for him to enter, you know. And I just one of the reasons that I do this is because I want to share his love, and I want you, a person who is listening, if you have not yet met him, or if you don't even understand what I'm saying right now, to experience the same love that I experience every single day. A lot of us have a lot of things in our lives, and we are like, you're a passionate person, you're a loving person, you're a kind person, but you're giving this kindness, love, and strength to the unnecessary things, to the wrong things, you know. And that is, I think, one of the biggest problems in our lives. We are giving our strength, our passions, our love, our care, our kindness, our loyalty, you know, our honesty, everything that is good in us, to the wrong things. Huh? Once upon a time I was giving my will to the wrong things, and I would do the wrong things because my will is like it's a will of steel, you know. And I would, if I was obsessed and I put my will on the wrong things, I would do everything and anything to fulfill what I am, what I want my will to be, you know. And at the end of the day, when I started putting my will and my obsessions to the right thing, and that was God, I have never ever felt, I have felt more complete, you know. And I feel like every single day is something, I get something new to learn, and I feel more love, though we still have a long way to literally go with the Lord. And this is what I love most about him, is because that it's a journey. My relationship with God and the relationship that you can build with the Lord is like a journey that takes you, and every single day you learn. I did not learn everything that I know about the Lord by in one day. I did not learn it by somebody else telling it to me, but as I listen to the gospel and as I pray, prayer is the one of the most important thing. And concentrate. The reasons why people say that, oh, go meditate about the goodness of the Lord, that is very important. When you read the Bible, when you hear something of the Lord, you know, as you have said, as I'm speaking to you right now, and you listen to my words, and afterwards you put everything aside and you just meditate about the goodness of the Lord, and you have a yearning, and you're like, God, speak to me, like, what exactly are you meaning? Give me an image and a picture of what you are trying to tell me through this message. You see it every single thing, every single time. Like, it's a new revelation. I get revelations all the time. This thing that I've literally talked about, I was just sitting there and I'm literally thinking about Paul, and I'm like, oh, what's up with Paul, you know? And I was praying, I'm in my prayerful age and everything, and I just get a revelation. God speaks to us in so many ways. Things will come to your mind and you're like, how, why? You would even think that, oh my God, am I the one thinking to myself about these things? But no, it's just God will give you wisdom that you will need to understand whatever that you need to understand. Because I believe salvation, in order for a person to gain salvation and to literally get the knowledge that they want and to understand at least a little bit about God, is because God touched their lives. He wants you to know, you know. Thank you very much, guys. I hope that you look into yourself, get whatever you're using in the world to literally do you, get it, use it for the good and not the wrong, and you will see a very big difference in your life. Right now I'm not like mad or angry about my obsession or will. In the other days I was, because it was leading me in a path of not so good, right? Yeah. So right now I'm just using it for the goodness of the Lord, and I hope that he continues to work his hand in my life and in every single person's life. Thank you very much for watching. Happy Sunday once again. It was your girl Kana. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified every single time I will be posting. If you do have any other questions you would like to ask, I'm always available. I do answer comments and everything, so I'll be seeing them. Thank you. And guys, another thing before we go, if you are still watching, I cannot tell you what I literally got. So I got a laptop. Stop it, oh my God. So we will be doing lives as soon as possible, as soon as I figure it out. So we will be starting to do live, so stay tuned. Do not forget to hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every single time I'll be posting, and subscribe. Thank you, loves. May God bless you. Bye bye.